The UN says nearly 300,000 people have now fled Rafah, but as Israeli tanks and troops push deeper into the city, the options of where to find safety are few. Zainab El Kahout said food and water for her children are scarce, and an old tent on a beach is now all the family has for shelter. I stayed in it for 5 months in Rafah with other displaced people, she said. I want to try to stitch it up, but I can't. But even as Israel expands attacks in Rafah, it's also returning to areas where it claimed to have already defeated Hamas forces. We've identified attempts by Hamas to restore its military capabilities in Jabalia, said Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari. Hamas isn't just reorganizing, it's also striking back. The city of Ashkelon faced multiple rocket attacks Sunday, injuring 3 people.
We need to see that too.
In TV interviews, the U.S. Secretary of State underscored Israel has failed to develop a credible plan for safeguarding civilians and for stabilizing Gaza.
If they leave and get out of Gaza, as we believe they need to do, then you're going to have a vacuum, and a vacuum that's likely to be filled by chaos, by anarchy, and ultimately by Hamas again.
With the increased Israeli strikes from the air and ground, casualties are spiking, topping over 35,000 dead, said authorities in the Hamas-run enclave. Here we received the bodies of an entire family, said a healthcare worker at the Kuwait-run specialized hospital. They arrived to us all ripped up. May God be our savior, she said. In Israel, the week ahead is likely to be emotional and fractious, with ceremonies of remembrance and muted celebrations for Israeli Independence Day. Some families of hostages plan to hold alternate ceremonies that don't involve what they call a shameful government that won't end the war and bring the hostages home. Chris Brown, CBC News, Jerusalem.